Hello users, good to see you again. It's been a long time since I've had created a new video, but we're going to be introducing a new piece of software in this video called FlightLevel, and you'll see the icon for FlightLevel right there. This is in early access, and that's kind of obvious by some things that you see within the application, like the fuzzy uh, icon. But I think when you see the program, you'll see that it's a pretty good application. It's pretty far along. Needs a little bit of work, but I think they're going to have a really good application here. Let's just get started here and take a look at the application. It only takes a moment for it to come up and get into the main menu. You can see the main menu over here on the left, and it has campaign, quick scenarios, endless mode, multi-sector, scenario editor, tutorial videos, an ATCopedia, a workshop upload, and of course a quit option. And each one of these options takes you to a different part of the program where you can access the various features. I'm not going to look at every one of these menu items in this video, but let's just take a look at a few of them. For example, on the tutorial video, there's only one video that is available this time. I think as the program matures, additional tutorial videos will be presented, but it will take the developer a little time, obviously, to prepare all of those. The present tutorial video just brings up the browser window.
All right.
And starts the first level tutorial.
This will be a quick tutorial on how to play our ATC simulator. I'll be introducing the game mechanics and tools we have available to control the air traffic. My name is Ragnar. I'm one of the developers of FlightLevel and also a real-life air traffic controller. So yeah, this will be a very short tutorial, but if you want a more in-depth tutorial, then I suggest playing the campaign. It will be a step-by-step 5-scenario specifically designed to teach you the core mechanics of air traffic control. And I suggest playing this first. Just select the campaign.
And you can tell that this tutorial was written in an earlier version of the application. There's a lot fewer menu items here, and the first campaign comes up a little bit differently in the present application. So I'm going to go ahead. You can go and watch that at your leisure some other time if you wish to do that. Let's take another look. There's an ATCopedia that we mentioned before. And this is very basic information about air traffic control and about how this program works. The menu over on the left takes you to the main subdivisions of the application, FL Basics. Then if you click on that, it will bring up another list of titles where you can learn about the ATCopedia itself, the radar screen, label colors, transfer and sector. Then there is a section on concepts, and you can go in and get information about the various concepts here. Then ATC Basics, very basic information here. You're not going to become an ATC expert by studying this, but you'll learn enough that it will help you in this game. There is a multi-sector mode here, and this is a multiplayer option where you can go in and you can join a specific game or join a random game. I haven't tried this out, so I don't know how to do that. You can host a game yourself. You type your player name in here and the game name over here. I suppose that's for the host game if you're going to do that. You select the region that you want to play in over here on the left and so on. So that's an interesting feature of the game. The quick scenarios are scenarios that you can choose and launch. I have not done this, but it's all available there for you. You can choose the airspace that you're interested in playing and then choose the sectors. I just showed something I want to see. If I go over here and under airspace I select tutorial, it's not going to show me any scenarios there. How about box? No, there won't be any there in box either. That's one of the tutorials. And if I go L space, we got a puzzle one. And so you can go in and select the various sectors that you want to play in to get the specific, if you want a specific sector there. We're going to be looking in campaign mode first. And under campaign mode, I believe the first time you come in here, you will only see the tutorial button. And you would come into tutorial and play the campaign. I've already completed a part of the tutorial, and so I'm going to reset my progress so that we can go back to the start, and that will get us back to the very beginning of the tutorials for purposes of this video. Click go ahead, and it says we recommend you start with the tutorial to get up to speed. Click on tutorial. And there is the box sector.
Welcome to FlightLevel, an ATC simulator created by real air traffic controllers. In this tutorial, we will teach you the basic skills that you need to begin your journey. So, let's get started.
The first several of these boxed items in the tutorial have audio and text, and we'll hear all of those as we go along. But then after a few of these, the audio drops off and you just have to read, and we'll see that as we get to that point. I suspect that as the program is further developed, that more and more audio will be included in the program. I haven't talked to the developers, so I don't know that for sure. But since this is early access, I expect the program to mature and to improve with time.
To begin, let's learn a little bit about some important terms such as label, route, flight level, and so on. Oh, and bear with us. Like our instructors told us a long time ago, you learn by doing, but you'll do when I tell you. So the controls will be locked for a little while, but don't worry, we'll tell you when to start doing.
All right, so and now it's getting ready to tell us about the label down here. And some of the by controls, it means the mouse and the different things the mouse is supposed to be able to do. And it seems like parts of the mouse work, parts of it don't, but we just follow the instructions so that we play along nicely.
Before we get into the real stuff, you can pan the camera by holding down the right mouse button and dragging, and you can zoom in and out by using the mouse scroll.
And we can test that with the right mouse button. We can pan around, and this doesn't seem like very much now, but later on in the program when the screen gets busy, it'll be useful to be able to do that. And then you can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel.
So the first thing you need to know about is a label. Each aircraft has one, and it contains all of the information that you as an air traffic controller need. Also, in this simulator, this label will be how you communicate with aircraft in your airspace.
And so here is the label. Now when you mouse over the label, usually it will show additional information, but again, as they mentioned before, the controls have been locked so that it does only what they want it to do. And now we have come to a point where we just have to read the text ourselves. For some reason, at this point, the audio instructions, the reading of the text stops, and so we just have to do that part ourselves. This says each label contains a call sign up here in the upper left corner, which in this case is Toby 1, or Tango Oscar Bravo Yankee 1. You don't have to remember those abbreviations if you don't want to. You can move the label by dragging it with your left mouse button. So if we click on the label with our left mouse button, I'm not able to change it, but let's see, here we go. Now we can drag it and move it around. And you'll find that dragging is a very important feature of the program. You can drag it with your left mouse button. It will be connected to the aircraft radar marker by a line to help you understand which label belongs to which radar marker. So as we move this around, you see the little line that connects it to the little triangle shape there that represents the aircraft. This is the route that Toby wants to fly, and you can toggle it on and off by clicking the middle mouse button anywhere on the label. And I'm not sure if it actually works here. It does not. So this does not work in the tutorial, but once you get out of the tutorial or away from this tutorial anyway, it will start to work. Located directly below the call sign is the actual flight level 300, which means that the flight is at 30,000 feet. You can check out the ATC-opedia for more information about that. I think that's 30,000 feet. This is it's in hundreds, so 300 is 30,000. And then below that, we find the cleared flight level. So at the current time, the flight is at 30,000 feet. It has been cleared 30,000 feet. And that is what that indicator means right there. To change the flight levels, you click on the cleared flight level and select a new flight level. But remember, each aircraft has its limits, and the pilots will not accept clearances beyond the aircraft's capability. So if you click here, you'll see that there's a you can select a level for it to go. So in this case, it wants to go to 360. I don't know if we can do this, but let's try. It wants to go to 360, so we click on 360, but we can't change it yet. So as it said, it's kind of limited now. It wants to go, I mentioned this before, this is the flight level the plane wants to get at. In other words, this has been predetermined by the pilot in his flight plan where he wants to go. 36,000 feet is his desired flight altitude. This is the exit flight level, or XFL. It indicates which flight level the aircraft wants to fly on. However, keep in mind that the aircraft controlling is about safety first, and it's okay to keep some aircrafts below or above their exit flight level if needed. But when safety is guaranteed, then it's considered good service to try to get all aircraft to their exit flight levels. The short line in front of Toby 1 is called the minute vector, and it shows where the aircraft will be in 1 minute if speed and direction of travel remain the same. You can increase or decrease the length of the line by scrolling when the mouse cursor is over the call sign. Each strip of line indicates 1 minute, so 3 strips is a 3-minute vector, and so on. Let's just pull this down here so we can see. And this is one of the controls that actually works. So you can scroll this up. There's a 2-minute vector, 3 minutes, 4, 5, 6, and so on. You can bring it down to 0 if you wish. In the bottom left corner of the label, you'll find the heading. This enables you to turn the aircraft. The turn is given as a compass heading. So HDG0 is north. It's also HDG 360. 90 is east, 180 south, 270 is west. Everything else is in between. Remember, once you give an aircraft a heading, then they will continue on it until you tell them otherwise. So don't forget them on a heading for too long. So if you tell it to change in a different heading that differs from its desired course, eventually you need to set them back on that desired course. Next to the heading button is the speed button, or SPD. This is where you can change the speed of an aircraft. The speed is given as a Mach number or knots, and more information about that is in the ATCopedia. You can see how fast an aircraft is flying from the ground speed indicator. This is the ground speed indicator that's flashing now, which is located in the middle of the label. This shows the aircraft speed relative to the ground, and it's calculated by the ATC system. The ground speed indicator is in knots. This is it can be confusing. because when you go into the speed button and click there, the speed that you give it will, depending upon the aircraft that you are communicating with, may be indicated in knots. In this case, 0.77 knots is where it is currently. But the ground speed is indicated in nautical miles rather than Machs. Did I say Knox a moment ago? I meant Machs. The speed is indicated in Machs. And for some reason, it won't go for me now. Okay. Interesting. This is the aircraft type that is flashing now, A320 or Airbus 320. We can see that the Toby one is a A320 or Airbus 320, but it could be many different types. B744 is the Boeing 747-400, for example. It's good to know what the aircraft is because that will give you some indication about its capabilities. Now this number is the squawk code 5631 for, in this case, the squawk code is the number that has been assigned to this aircraft for this flight at this particular time by ATC. And it is used by the system, the ATC system, to know what aircraft it is reading at that particular location. Each of the four numbers can be between 0 and 7. So it actually is in octal it's an octal number. You cannot use the numbers 8 or 9. And then finally, below the squawk code, you can find the direct indicator, or the direct next waypoint indicator. This is used to give an aircraft a shortcut, or when you have vectored them off their route, then you can use this to clear them back to a waypoint on their route, after which they will continue navigating on their own again. So this aircraft is going to the location that is indicated by the letters NW, November Whiskey. Next to the actual flight level is the rate of climb or descent. And since Toby 1 is on a level flight, it's currently 0. However, when you give clearance to climb or descend, then a 2-digit number will indicate how fast the aircraft is descending in feet per minute, where the number 10 means 10,000 or 1,000 feet per minute. It's in hundreds of feet per minute. This means that it will climb from flight level 300 to flight level 310 in 1 minute, or a rate of 25 is 2,500 feet per minute, and so on. Descent is indicated with negative numbers. You can see a small description of what each button does next to the label if you hover over a button. Also, you can toggle tooltips on and off by pressing the Tab key on your keyboard. If you want to know more about specific term or concept, then check the ATCopedia. So now if I hover over here, various other clearances. If I click on that, the available clearances will come up here. Get a little bit of I'm not sure what you call that, but some vibration that shouldn't be there, but for some reason is. Check, orbit tells it to, well, orbit I believe tells it to fly in a circle. Hold, I'm not sure how hold differs from orbit, or maybe not. It's not something else completely. I'm not sure. Transfer is to transfer from one from the current sector to another, and a check is a radio check. So that is the different clearances you can do. Then you have the actual flight level, clear flight to new flight level, heading, speed, clear flight to maintain a specific speed. This is the flight level for entry to the next sector, where the plane wants to be before it gets to the next sector. And the greater than symbol means that it can be reaching that. It means that I want to be going there, but I don't necessarily have to be there. Set a fixed rate of climb or descent. So each one of these it tells you that. Then the ACK are different ways to acknowledge communication with the aircraft. Affirm, say again, stand by, roger, and negative. One last thing, when you give a clearance from the label, you'll hear it given to the aircraft, and the pilot will read it back to you. If the readback is correct, then you don't have to do anything. If it is wrong, then click negative, and from the ACK menu in the label. If you miss the readback, then click say again. And roger is there just because we like to say roger. You can also see the transcript of the conversation on the frequency by pressing the plus key up here. You'll get the transcript. Located at the top, the middle part of your screen next to the frequency. By the way, the plus list over here will give you a list of flights that are in your sector, or maybe even on the screen. Hovering over one of these will cause the route of the flight to appear within the screen. And I don't know how to close that. I would think that would do it, but it doesn't seem to follow that kind of logic. Well, there it closed for me. Remember what we said about learning by doing? Now is the time to start doing. So go ahead and give a few clearances. Try a heading, speed, flight level change, and direct to get Toby 1 back on track to his next to his exit waypoint northwest. You have 10 minutes and an empty airspace. Go crazy. And if you've had enough fun, then you can also press the skip button. So let's click Roger, and away we go. Let's go in here and tell Toby to change his heading to 180.
Toby 1, fly heading 180.
Fly heading 180. Toby 1.
And if we wanted to, we could go in here and click
Roger.
Roger. So now you see him making the turn to 180. Let's tell him to go ahead and ascend to 360. You'll notice that the desired flight level is highlighted.
Toby 1, climb flight level 360.
Climb flight level 360. Toby 1.
Flying 1,000 feet per minute. Let's suppose we want him to get up there faster. So we can click there. And let's go 2,000 feet per minute.
Toby 1, maintain rate of climb 2,000 feet per minute.
Unable. Toby 1.
Toby 1, copy unable.
Not able to do that.
1500. Toby 1.
Let's see if we can't get him to go just a little bit faster.
Toby 1, maintain rate of climb 1500 feet per minute.
Maintain rate of climb 1500 feet per minute. Toby 1.
He doesn't seem to be increasing his speed yet, even though he affirmed the change. Let's see if we can't get him to speed up a little bit. He is at 78. Let's go on up to
Toby 1, maintain Mach decimal 80.
Unable. Toby 1.
Toby 1, copy unable.
Able Mach 89. Toby 1.
All right, how about is this where he's at
Toby
now?
1, maintain Mach decimal 78.
Maintain Mach decimal 88. Toby 1.
Now that sounded like 88 to me, but he did say 78. If we look at the maintain Mach, this is Toby 1, maintain Mach 0.78, and box said Toby 1 affirm. Let's make a change to 90 degrees.
Toby 1, fly heading 090.
Fly heading 090. Toby 1.
Four 453 nautical miles per hour. Is apparently 0.78. And I suppose since he can't go 0.80, that 0.78 is full power, maximum speed. Now let's come over here and tell him to return to his desired route.
Toby 1, proceed direct to November Whiskey.
Proceed direct November Whiskey. Toby 1.
And he'll turn now to November Whiskey. Over here you can see some commands that are available from the keyboard. For example, the I display base sector information. By clicking I, let's see if we can. That's the sector information. the sector info, the frequency for communication, the that just really kind of, see if I make our labels bigger. That was with the P key, and so now I can see FL660 to ground. This is FL660 to ground is where the levels that are under control by the sector operator. Some other keys that you can use is toggle the fixed names in, and so we have just a few labels: northwest, NW, northeast, southeast, southwest, and then middle. So they just got a very simple sector here for this tutorial. Then M mutes the music. Now, I don't know if there's actually any music in this game. I haven't heard it yet. But if there is, you can mute it. Removes all measuring tools up here. Q, universal measuring tool, the minimum separation estimating tool, and the minimum separation by route. These are tools that will be in, I believe, the next tutorial that we cover. The left arrow will slow time down, and it doesn't appear to be doing anything in this case. It may be that real time is the slowest time you can have. Let's see if we can speed time up. Oh, there we go. UTC 8 times, and that is the fastest it can go. And then the down arrow makes it go at the standard rate. So that's that completes this first tutorial, and we're going to stop right here. Click on main menu to bring up the main menu of the screen. We're going to stop right here, and then when we come back in our next video, we'll look at the next tutorial.